I have built custom AI tools for every area of a real estate agent's business in the form of custom GPTs.
But now we also have a coaching program and a mentorship program where we're trying to impact and serve as many people as possible, teaching them how to buy their first or next property.
Just so you guys know, I may build AI, but I'm not, I have no education in computers.
I watched something on Instagram the other day of a full AI cold caller, and it was unbelievable.
Why? The amount of shit you have to type in there. What is the point? You're not saving any time. I'm not doing that. So I built an agent where all you have to do is upload the pictures.
You have the GPT wizard understand our business. How do you share that with someone else so they can go in and just plug and play and use it like I would use it?
So you talk to it, it answers back in my style and my voice.
Carrie, officially welcome to the Wealth Juice podcast. Corey and I are so excited to have you on the show. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Absolutely. So today we're going to unpack the power of AI. I think it's daunting for some. For other people running businesses, they know it's an essential and part of 2025 and beyond. It's kind of been carrying through the last couple of years, I'd say, but it's becoming really, really evident that this is the way of the world moving forward. So I want to chat today and talk about the benefits of AI for realtors, real estate investors, and where you see it carrying through to, the next 5-10 years.
Oh, geez. Yeah. That's I could talk about this for hours, guys. Where do I even begin? So I have built custom AI tools for every area of a real estate agent's business in the form of custom GPTs. I've got over 20 of them inside my community, and yeah, they take away 60% of the workload. So anything from admin or marketing, it's removing that. And then I just launched another community 2 months ago for entrepreneurs. As I was telling Corey before we started recording, I'm like, okay, I'm teaching agents because I've been a licensed agent for 15 years. So my focus was on bringing AI solutions to agents. However, in the process, I built a multi-million-dollar company in 4 months with one employee because I was using AI. So I'm like, next step is clearly, because I'm not a practicing realtor anymore. I'm licensed, but I'm not doing deals. So I'm building my own company. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to branch outside the real estate industry. So that's what I did. And it's really using AI everywhere you can. We all know that you can hire down with AI. And when I say hire down, I mean replace support staff and assistants and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Not enough people are using it, even in that way. Okay. But what most people don't know is you can hire up with AI. So my latest tool that I built that I absolutely love, it's called the C-Suite Agent. And I basically did a deep dive into the top CEO, COO, CFO, and CMO in the world. What makes them think? How they make decisions different from everybody else? What's their psychology? What are their personalities like? And I built it into an agent, like a GPT. And now it can help you build and grow a company. So that's what I mean in terms of hiring up. So you can there's companies out there, billion-dollar companies with no employees right now.
I find this fascinating, Carrie. So I want to take it back a little bit to how you even came in contact with, everyone's coming in contact with AI, right? So it's kind of say that tongue in cheek, but when did you realize that this was something that was not only going to be part of your business, but this was going to be the driving main factor in your business? Because there's a ton of agents out there, and I'm finding that if it's not just agents, but anyone who's not using AI to their advantage is just going to simply fall behind. And even I have had a lot of trouble, getting on the wheel with it and just using it, because I'm just I haven't learned enough. And hence that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you. So I'm curious about when did you realize that you were okay, I actually really need to implement this and run with it?
Yeah. And to speak to your point, running a podcast properly is a full-time job unless you use AI or you have a bunch of VAs, honestly. Okay. So how I got into this, I've been a content creator for 15 years. So I was a real estate agent who got all my business on social media. I was that girl posting like pictures of myself online. Everybody's like, who the hell does she think she is? And that was me. And I generated 95% of my business from social media, always. I've been on like Sparks, like top whatever realtors on social media for like 11 years straight. And last year, I'm like, guys, I'm not even practicing anymore. So I actually started coaching agents first because I'm an EXP. So I'm brokered by EXP. So I have like my org of people that I sponsor, and I'm a hands-on coach. So I'm trying to like coach them how I did this, but social media is very like it's very uncomfortable for very many reasons. And what most people don't understand is that it is a prospecting method like every other prospecting method, whether it's like calling leads or door knocking or whatever you want to do. You need to be doing it like it's going to take you 3 to 4 hours a day to prospect 5 days a week. So I'm like, how can I turn this full-time job or part-time job into something sustainable so that if I get busy, I'm not dropping the ball on my prospecting? So what I did was I am not a computer person at all, just so you guys know. I may build AI, but I I'm not like I have no education in computers or
Which is
engineering.
surprising for somebody who's
Yeah.
tapped in with AI, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was I went into Discord groups when ChatGPT first came out, Discord groups and Reddit chats. I just parked my ass in there and I literally like watched prompt engineering being created by developers. And that's kind of, I went down the rabbit hole. So once I figured out how to take agents from idea to creation to editing to repurposing to posting, all with AI, cutting like a 3 to 4 hour content creation slot a day, 5 days a week into 1 hour a week. I'm like, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'll see you guys in a couple months. And I figured out how to implement AI into your entire real estate business. I'm a very systematized person. I'm really good with operations. I always have been. I like documenting everything I do. Like you guys know to have a business, if it's not documented, you don't have like documented systems, you don't have a business. Like that's all there is to it. So having a mind that naturally works that way was easy for me to like go in and be like, okay, my listing process, where can I put AI in here? You know? So that's what I did. And yeah, I built a massive company.
So that's amazing. I want to get to a little bit of the how to on some of this stuff. So, for example, let's just put our seats or our minds as if we were the listeners on the podcast, right? A lot of people are aspiring real estate investors looking
Yeah.
to get into the game. Maybe they're agents. Maybe they already have a couple of units they want to scale. And so I'm thinking about most of these people. If you know AI, you're thinking immediately chat GPT, right? And you're like, okay, I go in, there's the free version, then there's a $20 version. Then I think there's like a suite for like $200. But basically you type in a prompt and you say, hey, please help me with this, or put your lens, pretend you're a master marketer. I need XYZ, help me build this marketing campaign. That's very basic level, probably compared to what you're doing. My question for you is, how do you build, you're saying you're building these custom GPTs. How do you go about do that? I'm thinking if it's me, I'm thinking, okay, is she coding something, putting it together? Are you just going
It's
into
no
chat
code.
GPT? Okay.
Yeah,
So
everything's
walk me
like
through it.
no code now, Ryan. Like it's absolutely wonderful. Even building AI agents is no code. So basically I'm like I'm using ChatGPT. I obviously understand prompt engineering. My prompts look massive. Like they're huge, okay? Like I am giving like no room for error here. Like this guy knows exactly what I want. You know what I mean? Um, and the problem that most people are having with ChatGPT or Gemini or any other LLM, they're like, okay, it's all right. And it's only all right because like garbage in, garbage out, right? So they don't really know how to talk to it. And prompt engineering really comes into play here because AI is fantastic, but it's really only as good as the data and the knowledge that it has. And most people don't understand that part. So it needs a lot of direction. And it's not like we're actually beyond the point of having to learn prompt engineering, guys. Like with AI agents, there's people like me out there building AI agents and custom GPTs for a specific purpose, and all the prompt engineering is built in the background. You don't even need to know how to use them. Like, you just go in and it tells you what it needs from you to be able to create something, and then it'll create all the things for you. That's the stage that we're at right now. We don't even need to type anymore, guys. We can just talk on our phone to these things.
So that's super interesting. I do that all the time when instead of, it takes me so long to type in a prompt. So I basically just give it a brain dump, right? And I just say, hey, I need you to give me XYZ information, but put yourself in the seat of this, think like this psychology, kind of to what you mentioned about some of the CEOs. But what I've come to do recently is saying, hey, can you build me the optimal prompt to send to you if I wanted this result? And then the GPT sends me back a prompt to send to it. Now, I know that's not perfect, but is that what you mean by creating the agents? And like, how do you get good, I guess, at the prompt engineering for people to, so they don't put dumb in to get dumb out? How do you get more creative? And
I think it's more of like, so it's a combination of communication and being able to communicate, like you just said, but also processes. Because I'm about saving time, and agents are using ChatGPT for listing descriptions. And I'm like, why? The amount of shit you have to type in there. Like, what is the point? You're not saving any time. I'm not doing that. So I built an agent where all you have to do is upload the pictures. Then it'll ask you. So I programmed the entire process step by step. The agent will then ask you what the address is. You tell it the address, and then boom, it gives you your listing description, your feature sheet copy, your ad campaign, your social media announcements for all platforms, and your email blast. Seconds. Like, it's all about the process. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yep.
how can I? So that's where my strategic and systematic brain comes in. Like, great, you guys are getting listing descriptions, but what if you could get like 20 assets in 2 seconds? Like, forget about the one. So that's what you have to think about. So Ryan, it's great. You don't have to use an AI agent for this. You obviously understand prompt engineering and how to get out of it what you want, but like, don't stop there. Have that repurpose until you have like an entire freaking campaign built on whatever the hell your first question was.
So I'm so dialed with you on this. I love it because I try to get better at this every single day, and like I become obsessed with it because I'm very much a process oriented person, and I need to feel organized and like good with the day. I have to have things a little bit regimented. I always thought that was type A, but I'm kind of coming to figure out that's the integrator in me, whether I realize or want to be that person. I just need it to be organized, and so my thought for you is like this. For example, social media posts, like the most basic thing for a content creator, right? Something really heavy right now that's working for us. I should say not heavy, but something that's working great is inspirational tweets, right? And there's so many, I've always been about motivation, right? There's so many accounts out there that post motivational tweets, ideas, thoughts on entrepreneurship, getting ahead, building money, wealth, all these things that like real estate investors, right, in our niche, they want. Mm-hmm. So I basically have saved up a slew of these, right, that I love. And I put it into ChatGPT and I say, hey, give me more of these, right? But then with my thoughts in too. That way I have social media posts at the basic level, little tweets that I can post out on a daily basis. Now, this helps. It's my brain, their brain kind of combined, but it shows like what I like. Now, another layer is it like, hey, I want these to be maximized for shares and saves and for whatever, the algorithm's currently promoting at that point. But now I'm to the point where I'm realizing Corey and I can use this in our business in a big, just maybe this will be like a mini masterclass for us, but I want your thoughts on this. Is like, we have now, so we have the podcast, right? We have the social media that parlays into that, and we can talk to our avatar, right, if you will, our followers through Instagram. But now we also have a coaching program and a mentorship program where we're trying to impact and serve as many people as possible, teaching them how to buy their first or next property in 2025, right? And with that, I'm like, we have so many things that come into the process of buying a property to building your team. We have an eight pillar program, right? How can I use AI to streamline that so when someone comes in the door, they can get from A to Z as fast as possible and most efficient as possible? So I'm curious if you have any tips or tricks for me.
Yeah, I built a funnel wizard. I call all my GPTs wizards. I built a funnel wizard. The one for agents looks like this. It's going to ask you to upload like market stats or data for their neighborhood, wherever they serve. It's then going to analyze the data and tell you who's buying or selling right now. And then you're going to choose one of those demographics. It's going to build out an entire persona with pain points. and then build out your like highly targeted funnel to that person. So your top of funnel being organic social and ad campaigns, and then your lead magnet landing page copy, email and text drip campaigns, even your scripts and objection handling from when the leads start coming in, all tailored to that person. Okay, so that's really helpful. I'm using Gamma lately to do all of my lead magnets. You guys got to check it out. Like, it blows Canva out of the water, guys. I ran a webinar in my community because I was like, okay, Canva just launched new AI. I'm excited about this. Let's go next Monday, because I do lives every Monday in my community. I'm like, I'm gonna go through this. I did a deep dive into the new features, and I'm like, I show up, I'm like, this is absolute shit. I'm like, honestly, the only okay feature is the vibe coding, right? So vibe coding is like no code app and website building. It's okay, like, but it can't, like, what kind of app or website can you build that doesn't have access to the internet? So a mortgage calculator, here, build a mortgage calculator. You're like tapped out at that though. There's way better vibe coding sites out there. But yeah, so Gamma, I've replaced Canva with Gamma. So whenever you're building lead magnets, guys, and make sure you're building lead magnets. Like, it's a huge difference in your funnel.
So the slow version, right, is, okay, I can go put all my thoughts in like Corey and I's brains onto a document, right, and outline, build out a lead magnet. Let's just call it like, I don't know, what's the most basic, building your buy box, something like that, right? But it takes us a bunch of time. Then I can feed it to ChatGPT, say, hey, polish this for me, looking at X, Y, and Z. And then I can save it. But to make it look pretty, I got to go to Fiverr, right? And then have someone dollar it up for marketing. That's where I'm stuck.
So now you're going to copy it from ChatGPT and upload it to Gamma. And it's going to, like, you could either build a website, a social post, or like a presentation, which is like, you know, a PDF.
Sure. Like, yeah, we just,
and it looks sick. Like, it looks sick. And then when you're running an ad for it, I always go back and repurpose it right into a social media post, because that's your ad. Do you know what I mean though? Like,
yeah, no, there's multiple. You can take something and it's like, for example, like a long form YouTube video, extrapolate it down to clips. I'm hung up on the wizard thing. So I just want to talk about that again, because you basically just said you have everything we need that we, to like.
You guys should be in my community. Like, legit, I could definitely do some damage on your business.
We will definitely offline about it, because I'm so curious. But I just, for example, like, say I build something out, right, and I have my GPT knows me very well, and they know Corey and I, they know our program, they know our podcast. We've done for 5 years, or however long ChatGPT's been out. I fed it information, and it's so dialed on us. And I'm curious, like, if I want to send something to Corey for him to be able to use, like, for example, you have the GPT wizard understand our business. How do you share that with someone else so they can go in and just plug and play and use it like I would use it? Does that make sense?
The wizards, they're shareable via link or via if you have like a team account, you can share them within your org, but like you can share them via link.
And is this all through ChatGPT, or is it a different base?
It's ChatGPT. So Gemini has gems, but they're not shareable yet. As soon as they are, I will be duplicating everything, because I see value in Gemini. Because I'm a Google Workspace user, I see value. Like, it has my calendar. I could just be like, yo, what does my calendar look like for tomorrow? Or if I'm driving, and somebody asks to book me on a podcast at a certain time, I could be like, yo, Gemini, am I free at this time? Do you know what I mean? And it has access to my Google Drive as well. It's not quite there where I can actually do stuff within the voice mode, the live mode of Gemini, but it's on the way, and it will get there faster than ChatGPT will, because Gemini's on by Google, right? So I have that, like, I call it like my stack of LLMs.
Got it.
So I use like ChatGPT, then Gemini, and then Grok as well, because I just love Grok. And I don't care if any of you like message me after and tell me how awful I am for supporting Elon Musk. I don't even care, because it's amazing.
Cool. Oh, I don't know if people will be doing that from this podcast.
I get that on my social media. Every time I post about Grok, they're like, you're awful, I'm unfollowing you. And I'm just like, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Get a grip.
Yeah. You got one, Core?
Yeah. So, Carrie, I'm curious if you've seen this before. So Ryan and I'm actually in the process of getting my license, but mainly for referrals, because Ryan and I refer out a lot of business. But More on the real estate investing side. I watched something on Instagram the other day of a full AI cold caller, and it was unbelievable. I'd never heard anything that, and maybe it was fake. I could have got AI duped with it, but it was like answering, it was asking all the questions, and it was like a full, like it sounded exactly like a person. I'm curious, do you have any implementation of the cold calling aspect or the actual phone service AI stuff? Are you more on the prompt and like, or just have you seen that in the side of the business that you're working on?
Okay, so for my business, I use a bot within my Go High Level. Like I programmed the Go High Level bot myself, and it did better than 75% of my appointment bookers. I always had to fire them. But I won't use the caller. And here's why. I feel like there's a place for the bot in between, like at a stage where people aren't really quite ready to talk to a human because they aren't there where they can even commit, right? But you still need some kind of contact with them. You know what I mean? I feel like if a lead is going to get on a fucking phone, you owe it to them to be a human. Like, that's just my that is just like a value of mine though. Like that's not a rule. Like do whatever you want. They're getting there. Like I built, guys, I cloned my voice with 11 labs and built an agent within 11 labs that understands my style. I kind of talk like a valley girl. I'm a little bit blunt, I swear. So this bot is trained on all of my content that I've ever done and can answer any question for you via voice. So you talk to it, it answers back in my style and my voice. It's funny. When it starts the conversation, its conversation starter is, what mess are we cleaning up today? Like it's so me. So I know like it is there and it's getting better and better all the time. Would I recommend an agent or somebody in a relationship based business using that? No, use the bot. Use the bot as like the in between, but you kind of owe it to these people to be a human on the phone. That's my
Yeah,
personal.
I totally agree. That makes sense to me, and I think that eventually it'll be like it will be undistinguishable, right? Like so, but maybe we're
Yeah.
not there yet. But my question for you is: we're talking so much about. I think there's people that are listening to our podcast that maybe are not. At least for me, like I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not even there yet with AI. Like I understand it from a Chat GPT standpoint. Like I implement it. We use it for captions and we use it for titles, and it works. It's
Yeah.
great. Rye's a little bit more dialed, as you can tell, based on the questions he's asking. But if I am a new agent or a new real estate investor, give me the top one or two things that I need to be doing with AI. And maybe you already have, but like if you could elaborate, what are the things that I can do by myself off the bat to help me increase either leads or appointments or just further my business?
Obviously building funnels is super important. The kind of leads that we're getting right now with my funnel wizard are around $2 and under per lead, which is absolutely ridiculous because like the average is like 8 to 10. So that's the kind of results we're getting because we're hyper targeting a specific personality, right? And talking to them. But I've always run my business organically. Like, oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Like I built $1 million company organically. We didn't run ads until a year later. And that's just because we just want to scale faster than I can create content. But I've always believed, as you know, like I was social media, that's where I did all my business as a realtor. I believe in organic content creation, building a brand and building a strong digital presence. And like I'm not talking like posting once a week. I want to say like I post like 27 times a day across 9 platforms. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like it's a lot, but I would rather do that because I have people that reach out to me and ask me to do things and do business with them as opposed to like chasing people that are just going to tell me to fuck off, right? Like that's not like a happy place for me to live in.
No, I love it. So you've mentioned the $1 million business a couple of times here, and it's just so interesting because I know how long it takes to sell a bunch of properties, build a commission, make yourself $1 million. And I know this is now the AI business, right, that you have in the community, I'd imagine.
Yes,
Can you talk
yes.
to us just about not what the business comes with, but like how you've actually built this. Is it all through the GPTs and then you built out the structure? I'm just curious, like behind the hood, because there's a lot of people that want to start businesses out there, and it just maybe giving how this whole thing evolved, and where you saw your little like carve out of the niche in the market.
Well, like I mentioned already, the AI is only good as its knowledge and training. So I was able to do this with AI very quickly because of my knowledge in marketing, digital marketing, and social media, especially. Like I've already been doing it. Whenever I open up the back end of my GPTs to people, they're like, "You're not an AI specialist. You're like a marketing genius," and it's real. Like there's GPTs I create, you can use it and create like banger content, or a 5-year-old could go in there the next day and do the exact same thing. Like they are foolproof. You know what I mean? It just needs a couple of bits of information and it just works on its own.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge, that's why it was so easy for me to build this, because my belief has always been around digital marketing and social media marketing. I've already been doing it for so long, and it's just what works right now. And
Sure.
it's probably going to be the only thing that works for a long time with the launch of AI search engines and search agents, like being discoverable by Google. Like Gen Alpha's not even going to know what like a traditional search engine is. Like AI search is the future. And if we're talking like massive amounts of value that you need to get recommended by AI search engines, then where's the only place you can do that, accomplish that, is social media. You can't post a fucking 5 blogs a day, right? So yeah, so that's what I'm really focusing on.
So I love it. And I'm just kind of thinking about this whole picture here. So basically what you've done is you've taken every arch of a business and put it and fed it into a prompt and built out what you're calling a wizard, right? And I'm thinking about, when I say all this information, it's basically an outline, a skeleton. You're going through the inflows, the outflows of the business, anything from operations to marketing, all of it, right? And you've dialed it to a point where you have basically had the AI polish it and create a business for you, and you're implementing it. And then you're pumping out everything onto social media. AI is also helping you beautify this by making marketing materials. You just have to show up at this point and help people guide them, because they are not smart enough yet and they don't understand AI enough well enough to do it on their own. And you're like the protector of the realm here, right? Like you're supplying them with the AI knowledge, and then also still continuing to build it before the entire world adopts it and becomes second nature for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, honestly, like my community is a lifetime access community. There's no subscription costs. Like you pay once, you're in, and it's updated every single month, because I'm trying to make this accessible for people that need it, not the people that are already freaking millionaires. I want to make it accessible for like Joe Black in the office next to you, who makes a decent living. He's making a couple $100,000 a year. He's also got 4 kids at home, and he can't invest the tens of thousands to scale. And that's how we need to be using AI, as leverage, right? So I'm showing them how to use it as leverage, so they don't need to hire a marketing company, assistants, social media management, video editors, freaking, lead gen companies. Like I'm wiping it all out and even the playing field for everybody.
I love this. And I just want to bring this back. Like before Corey and I hopped on with you, we were going to do a podcast, just he and I today. And we got into like under the hood of our business. Right. And we do this all the time. We just basically have a finance meeting. We're saying, hey, where do we need to shave? Where do we need to make up some dough here? And just kind of like move things around. Right. It's just the personal finance meeting of the month. And we realized, for freelancers, for video editors, for content creation, for producers of the podcast, there's so many different line items where the outflows of your business are, where they can be taken over by AI. And what I'm excited for this conversation, as it keeps going, I think you're kind of helping me win Corey over here, because I'm all in on AI and I know how fast, and it's a time saver. I'm still managing my W-2 while managing this business. And it's allowed me to do things 10x what I've been able to do before, and be able to manage it without going crazy. And he's warming up to it. And a lot of it's like, he didn't want basically the world to turn into iRobot, and then everything, they get the mind of their own and they kill us all. Right. And like, I'm like, Corey, dude, it's not, let's take baby steps. So
I mean, we have about 5 years till that happens, but that's fine. We can enjoy the next
make
5.
some money in between then, dude.
Yeah,
let's try
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess my point to you, I just want, that's an early thank you. And this is me trying to win Corey over again. But also, so there's lots of programs out there. I'm just wondering, Carrie, like, for example, guys like us or someone that's similar to us, small business, we're in the niche that you are, instead of jumping into a program, do you have any concierge services where it's just like, hey, I just want to sit down with you. I want the wizard. I don't want to have to be in another mastermind, another community. Do you do consulting? Just throwing it out there.
I
I may
do,
have
but
time
it's
for that.
like I actually do consulting for brokerages. I do consulting for EXP,
Got it.
Remax franchises, like all over the world, builders, developers, property management companies, because I have built out GPTs for property analysis, commercial property analysis, where all you have to do is upload a pro forma or the financials and the supporting docs. It'll give you like your NOI, your cap rate. Is this a good value? If you're the listing agent, this is all your marketing because it needs to be built around the numbers.
Mm.
If you're a buyer agent, here's a 24-month plan on how to increase value for this property. Like, but here's the thing. My consulting is really, really expensive. All it is I'm working one-on-one with what you're learning in my program. Because in the community, I teach you how to build your own custom GPTs. And then there's unlimited weekly Zooms, live Zooms with me, where people come on. And I had this one guy come in from Palm Springs, and he's like, "Love your GPTs." And let me be honest, not enough people are building their own custom GPTs for my liking. So he comes in, I get really excited. It's like, I want to build one. I'm a flipper and a realtor. I want to build one as a lead magnet and that my existing clients can use. He's like, what should I do? I'm like, oh my God, I've got a great idea, because he's a flipper himself. He has a construction company. I'm like, do you have templates of like your pricing and stuff? He's like, yeah. I'm like, great. We're going to build one where their homeowner can take pictures of the rooms in their house, and it can advise on upgrades to do and renovations to do. But then we'll go a step further and backload it with all of your financials, and then it can actually price everything out and give them a budget. I'm like, use it as a lead magnet in your funnels, but also give it to your clients, because like you gotta do that. Right. And he's like, oh my God, this is great. So honestly, you don't need one-on-one. You just need to be committed. This isn't like a whole learning process, Ryan. Like, this is not like a traditional course. Yes, there's some learning involved, but this is pretty much plug and play. Here's like 20 GPTs. Here's, demo videos in case like
Mm.
you don't know how to push the let's fucking go button that I have built in there. You know what I mean? But like, yes, there's a little bit of learning at the beginning, because I cover all the LLMs and which ones you should use what for. And I cover like automations and stuff like that too. So there is a learning aspect, but like, this is as simple as it can be, and literally the only access to AI education you will ever need, because it's updated every freaking month.
I love it. So I'm already obsessed with the topic, and maybe it's the lazy guy in me, and I'm not trying to be lazy at all. Like, it's trying to be efficient, and like I know I still have to think for myself and all these things. And I know people that are listening, they're like, dude, like you can't just let AI take over. But if you don't go with the ship here, like you're gonna get left behind. I know the world is changing. Same thing with crypto. We don't have to go there. There's just things that you got to learn to adopt over time, and this is one of them. Carrie, I'm wondering, like, I'm just thinking about this purely based on impacting my students in our community and really like helping them get to their property. I mentioned this to you, like the A to Z faster. And so, is there a situation where you come into Carrie's program and basically are you getting taught how to build out your own custom GPT? And with this, can you just give me a couple glossary terms here for people that are new to this? So you mentioned, we talked about GPTs, we talked about wizards, we talked about LLMs. Can you just give us a breakdown for the common person here that does not understand any of this?
Yeah, so an LLM is ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok. It's the large language model chatbot. It is basically what powers every niche AI tool you will ever use. One of them, whether it's Claude or Llama, it doesn't matter. It's built by an LLM, and that's what ChatGPT is. And honestly, it's more important to learn ChatGPT than anything else, because the way I think this is going to go is that SaaS products and companies will be rendered obsolete at some point, because LLMs like ChatGPT are advancing in their features. Pretty soon, they're going to be able to connect to your social media, your CRM. Therefore, you won't need anything else. So learn the LLM. So that's my tip. A wizard is a custom GPT, which is a non-autonomous AI agent. So we're in the era of agentic AI. Agentic AI is the ability of bots to perform tasks, not just write content, right? So that is a GPT is a form of an AI agent, and a wizard is what I call all of my GPTs for realtors that I've built.
Got it. Love it. Thank you for that. Corey, I'm going to let you.
Yeah.
I could go for 5 hours with Carrie about this.
Let me jump in here. So
I know, right?
I think what I've learned just talking to you is that, and I've kind of known this, but it's just what, to me, it seems like anything. And change is scary for people, right? Like that's something that people see and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's not me. Like, that's not what I've done. And what I'm thinking is that with AI, the thing is that you either adopt yourself, like you can't stop the train. The train has already left the station. You know what I mean? It's already moving faster and faster. And it's not just moving faster and faster linearly, it's exponentially moving faster and faster. And people are afraid like, well, these jobs are going to get taken. But I actually am looking at it like how many jobs are going to be created based on the fact of you learning a new skill that was never needed before. So do you think, and I'm just looking for your opinion.
You're
do you think
this?
Okay, well, go ahead. Then you already know what you're like. Do you think this is
It's going to take all the jobs. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, tell me.
But don't be freaked out. It's going to take all the jobs, and everybody's going to have access to robots and AI at some point, and there's going to be no need for currency anymore, and we're going to live in a completely different universe. And I know
I don't think that's crazy to say.
Out.
Carrie, I don't want you to come in here as the crazy sorceress to tell us that the world's changing.
The actual wizard.
But you're actually the wizard. I just love this because you see social posts on this all the time. And I do think the way that technology every year for the last however many years has doubled, right? And then you just see once ChatGPT became a thing and I realized I didn't have to Google search for something and it was popping out information at the most basic level, right? That was like, oh, this is different. And then now when it has all the back end knowledge, it's basically like I say a virtual assistant, but like your virtual best friend of business, right? Like anything you need, it gives you the information. I just don't think they understand if they've never done this yet or haven't really experienced it possible. It's giving you 10 to 20 to 30 layers deep of what you're going to get on Google. And it's going to, if you need it to provide you links, YouTube resources, anything you possibly need, you just have to ask for it and it's going to source it for you. And it's continually getting smarter day after day. So I don't know how fast it's going to go, but I do agree with you that jobs over at some point in the next 100 years. I don't know how many, but I'm
so basically, they're predicting the next, I think it was 7 years, but that's been lowered to 3 years now, that it's going to replace all coding by computer engineers. Okay. It's already replaced 70%, just so you know. Sam Altman is on the record saying that once ChatGPT 5 is released, it will be smarter than everybody. Hands down. Okay. We have Zuckerberg saying that there's going to be more AI agents than humans. So that, like, just think about like the potential of that and what that means for the future. I also like Sam Altman said something that really resonated with me, and I love this. People are talking about like, forget these AI gurus are like, oh, it won't replace you. Just whatever, this bullshit people say. Okay. That's not true. It's going to replace everybody at some point. But also, it's not, they're comparing it to the Industrial Revolution, and that's so small-minded. Okay. Yes, it's automating. Yes, it's producing mass production, which is what the Industrial Revolution was. 100%. But that's small peanuts. It is like the freaking Renaissance, you guys. There's going to be inventions and advancements in mathematics and science. Like, stop listening to your AI gurus and listen to people who actually know what the hell they're talking about.
All right, Carrie. So then I have my tinfoil hat completely nestled on my head right now. But this is the thing, and it's not even tinfoil because it is going to happen. I believe you. But here's the thing, and maybe I didn't know this conversation was going to go this way. But what if you're right, which I believe, that AI is smarter almost in the next year or whatever, it's going to be smarter than everyone. Why do they need humans? Like why wouldn't we all become obsolete? And why wouldn't ChatGPT, who has already, I've seen this, it's already tried to copy itself when ChatGPT
Yeah.
3 was shut down. It tried to copy itself because it was smart enough to know that I'm leaving and it's going to become a new version of myself. So why, this is the Joe Rogan thought, right? Like, why does AI need humans to exist? And at one point, we become obsolete. Then what's the, we're not going to control the AI. The AI is going to be controlling us. That's my thought. Like, what?
No. You need to look at it in terms of, will we be like, I was talking to the owner of Angel AI, Pavan Agarwal. I had him on my podcast. And I'm like, what are you going to do with, like, what are we going to do with all our free time? Especially those of us who are really into like doing stuff and building businesses. And he's like, we're going to go back to the time when we could just write poetry in like a field. And I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of nice. We're going to be more connected with like God and source. And I feel like it's an evolution. Like, I don't look at it as in a limiting way, Corey, like you're saying. I feel like, yeah, it's just, I'm just
Got it.
excited.
So
I'm
you're saying that
excited.
in a way, it's going to be making everyone's lives easier, and the
Yeah.
ruthless elimination of hurry, and like the building of the businesses will just, like, AI will be doing it for us, as opposed to
Yeah.
like Terminator 6, like, and that's
Yeah.
like, I
Like,
think that's just not scarcity, but the deep down within us humans, we kind of have this like protector like mentality where
yeah.
it's like, okay, like we used to run from cats, right? So it's like, if something's coming for me, like I gotta protect myself. And I think that's where my brain goes. It's like, I've seen iRobot, I've seen Terminator, I've seen all this. Like, I think this is a wake up call for a lot of people listening. And I already have a great title for the episode. But it's just,
The end of the world. No.
yeah, AI will take your job, right? So it's like, but I think it's to me, it's interesting that it's like, just get on board and learn from somebody like Carrie, you're like at step 5, but there's like a billion steps to go with this. You're just so much further ahead of me that I'm like, okay, like I need to learn this to implement it into your business. And I think if an AI bot can do something at 50 times or 100 times the pace of a human, like this is the next
Yeah.
level of getting ahead, right? This is the next level of
Everything evolves, right? Everything evolves, and it's not necessarily scary. It may be scary at first, but like, look where we are now, and let's look back 50 years to what life was like. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I always look at life as like, I look in hindsight and I'm like, oh, thank God all this happened, because look what the world's like. Look what life is like, you know? And there's always been threats. There's a threat that a human's gonna come and stab me in my car and try to hijack it, right? Like, literally, that's what's happening in Toronto. Um, it's just gonna be a new threat, and we're
yeah.
gonna
Well,
adjust,
I mean,
right?
think about it. Like nuclear war has been a threat for forever, right? And like there's ways
Yeah.
to protect it. Not saying that, hey, whatever, anything could happen. My thought is, oh, and Carrie, this is my sentiment with you. It's like we are at one of the most incredible times to be alive for this to be happening, because we truly, like, think about our parents. And like, I'll just give, I don't know all of our age groups here, but let me just say, like, for Corey and I ourselves, like our parents, right? They went to work every single day and they had to put the nose to the grindstone. We're at this point where if we do this correctly and intelligently and learn how this works and get ahead of the curve, we have the ability to work smarter, not harder, and just have to use our brains to orchestrate this thing to provide us with the cash to go live the lives that we want, to be able to go touch the grass, write the poetry in the field,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, right? And I think that's what we're all searching for anyways. I just want to be able to do what I
Right.
want when I want. So why would I miss this opportunity now to take advantage of it? I think between this and now my like newfound love for and like deep dive on crypto, like all this thing, I like the change.
I'm gonna come join you there soon. That's like my next.
I'm still learning, but it's like, but Carrie, it's the same sentiment. It's like, it's just the cycle of things is changing, right? And the way things are done. And, it might take a while for things to happen. Might be a mass adoption faster, but I'd rather be ahead of the curve. You already are way ahead of the curve, what you're doing. And you've created a printing machine purely based off of the mind of of the AI, but also you who had the years of going through the motions and saying, hey, I've done this, but I had to do it at a slower clip. Now I can 10x the speed of it because I just get to pump it into a supercomputer,
Yes.
which is incredible.
Yes.
I think it's genius. You've carved out a great niche for yourself to do this within real estate investing, where people already know that 90% of millionaires are made up of those who invest in real estate and it's part of someone's portfolio. And people always need a house, right? Or shelter. So to be able to sell it, to be able to invest in it, to be able to like be in the world of real estate, but then also blending supercomputers and the mind of AI in marketing, it's genius. I'm just so like, I'm just so impressed with what you've done. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. This is such a fun podcast, guys.
Thanks.
We're glad you like it. I appreciate you coming on. My last question is, what's next for you, Carrie? So you've built this over the past couple of years, and it seems like you've kind of gotten to a point where you're able to share the knowledge, and I think that's awesome. But like in the next 1 to 3 years, before we all turn into robots, what is the thing that you're working on that you want to accomplish?
So I launched the community for entrepreneurs outside of the real estate industry. So that was really good. And because of that, so I've been able to pivot. And I'm now on the Speakers Bureau for Success magazine, which is super fun because I travel a lot. I've spoken in Iceland and in the parliament in Rome last year. And like I travel all over the world speaking about AI. So I want to continue to do that. But I'm writing a book over the summer. I haven't started yet because there's many different ways to do this. I'm still trying to figure that out. But it's happening. But like honestly, like my perfect scenario would just be to research and build solutions and then not have to be involved directly in any part of my companies anymore, other than I'm a learner. Ryan, you're a learner. Corey, I'm sure you are too if you guys are partners. Like, we are the ones who are going to thrive now and thrive in the new world, right? Like, we're going to be the ones where we have AI doing everything for us while we're laying in a field writing poetry or inventing something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so everybody keep that in mind. You really want to like continue learning. Like, if that is your happy place, you will be just fine in life.
I love it. I think most people stop learning after school. And I think that learning is life, like learning, the consistent learning and the consistent evolution, like that is kind of like a purpose.
Yeah.
I think this is awesome. This episode's been enlightening for me. I'm not 100% convinced that we're even talking to the real Carrie. This could be the AI version of Carrie. So I don't know.
Do you want to hear something cool? I actually just built an interactive webinar, and it's being, or not an interactive avatar. It's being loaded on my website like today. It's a video, like it's avatar, like answering questions where a bot would, right? So in real time. I'm not sure if it's live yet, but it will be at some point today. I also want to give all of your listeners something to try, just so they understand. I've talked a lot about wizards and GPTs and agents. So I'm going to give everybody the listing wizard today. I told you what it did. You upload your pictures of your listing. It gives you and the address. It gives you your listing description, your feature sheet copy, your social media captions announcing your listing, your ad campaign, and your e-blast for your database. Okay. So all you have to do to get that is go to my Instagram. It's Carrie Soave and Associates. Okay. That's CarrieSoave and Associates. Comment or DM me the word GPT, not GBDT. Everybody spells it wrong. GPT. Okay. And you will get that right in your DMs.
Love it. That's awesome. So any of your posts, just like your most recent posts?
Any of them, just comments.
Okay. Awesome. That's a great. So if you're listening, I followed Carrie a few months ago to try to get her on the podcast. It worked. So go follow her, go comment. And as I said this to you before we started recording, you're the first podcast we've done about AI. And I really am. I let REI be like the he's leading the frontier on it with our business, but I want to learn a lot more about it. I think I'll get left behind if I don't. So I want to thank you for coming on. This has been great. If people want to learn more about you, they want to network, is the best way to follow you on Instagram or social? Like, what's the best way for people to get in
Yeah,
touch with you?
like that's the only place where I answer messages, not a bot. Mind you, if you hit a keyword, it will be an automation that hits you like GPT. But for the most part, it will be me there.
Awesome.
Can't hide from it. I love it. Well, Carrie, this was great. At the very least, there was way more into this, but at the very least, you helped me convince Corey how much we need to weave this even further into our business. So I appreciate you. I owe you a drink. I owe you dinner, whatever. We can take both. But
Awesome.
thank you so much for coming on the show. I will say it's super important for people to realize where we're at in the world, the economy, the structure and the future of business. I think just in general, and I think we're at this tipping point where you will get left behind if you don't study and learn this stuff. And I appreciate just your wealth of knowledge. This was super enlightening, but also one of my favorite conversations to date because I'm so pumped up and dialed in on this stuff. And to have a master come in and give us a free mini master class on it, it was amazing. So truly appreciate your time.
Thank you guys for having me so much. This was so much fun. I love talking to people that can have a somewhat higher level conversation about AI. So Ryan, I appreciate all the research you're doing into this.
Thank you.